awesome.
Welcome to the Grappling With podcast. Dr. Chris Hardy and William Walker will take a deep dive into topics covering wellness and prevention, performance, recovery, and injury management. Our mission is to provide the latest science-based information to help you get the most out of your grappling journey, both on and off the mats, and help you overcome any challenges you may be grappling with. Dr. Hardy is a licensed physician and BJJ practitioner, but the contents of the podcast are meant for educational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. Please seek out personalized care from your own medical provider prior to implementing any medical treatment or intervention.
Welcome. We are doing our very first Black Belt podcast with one of our own Black Belts here, and we're going to do this as a series. Should be a lot of fun. Before we get to introductions, I'm going to introduce our guests, but I just want to point something out, Bill. You said that you were Kyle's favorite because you got your Hawaiian shirt.
I have evidence-based argument, yes.
He heard that and gifted me a limited edition, mind you.
Wow.
Harley Davidson shirt.
New favorite.
Wow. I'm thinking so. Anyway, so you can stew on that for a while.
There's a lot to chew on when it comes to that. I am guessing that he was in a pinch and had to dry his dog off when it went into a river. I was like, well, I don't want to wash this thing, so he just gave it to you.
It did have an interesting smell to it. But
it did smell like brute.
It still smelled like a man.
Yeah, well, that's for
And I
darn
do
sure.
feel my testosterone elevator today. So.
Yeah, he looks like you got a little gyno coming through on there.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
No. So, anyway, we have one of my favorite people here today. And I'm just not just saying that. It's the truth.
Olivia, we both love you.
Well, that goes without saying, Olivia here. But we have one of Andrew Solheim's Black Belts, our friend and training partner, Lawrence Walmsley here. So Lawrence is very kind of reserved and soft-spoken. So we might have to kind of, prod him a little bit to get him out of his shell today. So, yeah, Lawrence, hey, kind of give us just a brief background, man, of, where you're from and
Sure.
all that. Then we'll go from there, man.
Yeah.
So come up to the mic a little bit.
Yep.
I want a social security number,
Gotcha.
waist size.
Okay.
Don't leave them out.
Okay. I have to look at my social security card.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm just kidding.
You carry it with you everywhere you go.
No. I don't know where it is. Sorry.
Better.
Put that thing up to your mouth.
I know.
and
It's
just
weird.
Act
I'm
like
sorry.
you're at
I'm not,
home right
I'm
now.
not used to all this tech, dude. Yeah. So, Army brat. My dad is a tanker, or was a tanker. So, yeah, we moved around a lot as a kid. Till 1990, we moved to Washington. Been in Washington almost ever since. I did graduate in Platte City, Missouri, but I was just there for a year and then moved back to Washington.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school in Monroe, Washington, and Platte City, Missouri.
Why'd they put a jail next to a high school?
Actually, the jail was already there. They built the high school next to the jail.
Seems odd.
Is it like a farm league, like in baseball, where you have the high school, then you kind of just farm, kind of know you're going to go pro?
I never went to. Yeah, that's a great question.
It's an odd setup.
I do not know the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but you know what is kind of cool? I got to work on, so the high school I went to in Monroe is now the middle school. And I got to work on it when they were remodeling it. And so that was weird as an adult going there and, doing what I do where I went to school.
I used to install granite countertops. That was a previous life of mine.
Yeah.
And I had to install granite countertops at my old elementary school. Isn't that crazy? And
so it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, just for nostalgia.
Yeah, it was weird.
I had to go number 2 in elementary school.
That's
because they had the
TMI.
little tiny toilets,
That's
and
weird.
it was like it ran me back in time, and it was very low, but it was like it just brought me back.
Did you have some profound experiences in the bathroom in elementary school?
I mean, that's an interesting time in your life.
I cannot remember a single time I used the bathroom in middle school. I mean, I obviously did. Elementary school.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Bill,
Same thing.
Bill has milestones with with his number 2s.
And it was just kind of like a culmination of things. And you find yourself in an elementary school stall.
So this is weird.
I know he went on a weird direction, didn't he?
It's okay.
Super weird.
So it's, keeping it light. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
So after high school, what'd you end up doing?
After high school, I found my way into concrete construction. It was really weird. I was all set up to go work for the fair. I'm 19 years old with no job, and I, fill out the application. The next day, I'm going to go work at the fair. I wasn't too excited about it. It's like fucking trash duty or some bullshit, right? It was not good, but it was a job. And
did you see Bill there? He was on display. He's in a freak show.
Freak show?
Yeah, he was part of it.
He's trying to insult me saying I'm a carny.
Okay.
I'm some sort of circus.
Fair is not the same thing as a carnival, but
you ruined it, man.
Well, I went over my head. Didn't know what the hell you were talking about. So
no disrespect.
Just so you know, we like to throw insults back and forth any
fair
chance
enough.
we get.
I watched every single podcast. I know.
Unlike Andrew.
He's a busy man.
Yeah,
he's a busy man.
I guarantee he's sitting with his shirt off right now on his chair, poloing me. Probably drinking a beer though.
Yeah, fucking right, doggy.
What you got there? What you got there, Lawrence? Before we get back into
Deschutes. I like. It's a mix. I got a whole bunch of.
Doesn't sound American.
They're IPAs. I like fresh squeeze. Yeah, I always get the IPA mix.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink the same beer all night. That's not that much fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so then how did you come across this grappling art of jiu-jitsu?
It's kind of a weird, dumb luck finding Andrew's gym.
Was that the first gym you started at?
First gym, only gym. Yeah, it's kind of strange, dude, because I got fired from my job that I worked at for 7 years. Kind of felt like I didn't know anything that I was doing wrong. I didn't get any kind of warning. I was just fired.
Was this in concrete?
Yep.
Okay.
Non-union, though. Now I'm in the union. Mm-hmm. Turned out to be the best thing ever happened to me. Seriously, I found jiu-jitsu this way. I'm in the union, making more money than I ever was before. But, I was doing the unemployment thing. I had to move out of my apartment, moved in with my friend in a couple of months. He just came to me. He's like, dude, you got to do something. It's been a couple of months. Feeling sorry for yourself, I get it, but you need to enroll in college. You need to find a job. You got to fucking do something, dude.
Right.
Whatever it is. He found Andrew's gym for me. He inspired me. In a way he's like, that's an opportunity for you to do what you want.
Right.
What are you passionate about?
Right.
What do you want to do? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know. And he's like, all you do is talk about fights. UFC. That's all you do is talk about, why don't you pursue a career in MMA? I have a history of epilepsy, so being a fighter didn't even seem like a possibility, right? Not to mention my pain tolerance isn't that high. Being a fighter, no thank you. But a referee seemed pretty awesome. That sounded like a great idea. And so that's what actually led me into Andrew's gym.
You just wanted to learn the grappling side.
I just wanted to learn. Well, so to be a referee, you have to be training in one of the 10 martial arts that compress the sport of MMA. I didn't feel like getting hit in my head was good with a neurological disorder like epilepsy, nor did I feel necessary. I can see when somebody's hurt. I don't need to get hit in my head regularly to know when somebody's when someone's had enough, right?
Got it.
But submissions are a different thing. Like, you stop the fight too soon, it's his fucking professional record. You stop it too late, he's damaged, right? So it seemed like a good place to start.
Yeah.
And then I just got engulfed in this
when
submission.
Was that?
2010.
That was when you first walked through those doors?
Yep.
How many... Now, the gym has grown
a lot. It's been awesome to watch.
How was it?
It's been awesome to watch. It was small, 3 days a week. I could go to every class.
You're right, yeah.
It was just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then as the gym grew, it actually started with Andrew and his dad. His dad had a karate club, not a school, but a club. And they were sharing the space. And the karate club slowly dwindled away, and Andrew ended up taking over the whole space kind of slowly. And we expanded classes, as you know.
Wouldn't that be crazy if in another universe he didn't do jiu-jitsu, he just carried on the karate, and we were all karate guys?
Yeah, thank goodness he saw the UFC, and he's like, yeah, fuck this, man. We're going. That's way cooler. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be nuts.
Because that was about a year after he got his black belt, too, in 2000.
He was really only open for a few months when I started training with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
it
is cool.
Interesting. So you start training, and are you all in right away?
Oh, yeah. It was very like, I had no expectations. Like, I just wanted to be a good referee. I wanted to understand what is happening. Like, you know, you don't, like I said, you don't want to stop the fight too late or too early.
Yeah.
It's important. You don't have a lot of time to make a decision, right? So
did you start competing in like what you?
Yeah, I was a little nervous to compete, but something Andrew said to me really made me want to compete more. It was something like he felt like every tournament was the equivalent of 3 months of training, and you just can't replace that kind of experience. You know, you're training with people that you don't normally compete with. There's a lot more pressure. It exposes weakness, right? Yeah. And even if you don't win, you get out there and you try your best and you learn something.
Was that at white belt level you started competing?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I competed all the way up to all the way to my brown belt. I hurt my knee. I was working construction. I couldn't train enough to feel good about competing. I wasn't afraid to compete at brown belt. I was afraid that I wasn't training enough to take the competition seriously.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go out and get beat on endurance or my back is always in pain and my knees have both been hurt 3 times, right? So sounds like a bunch of excuses. But
no, man.
I did enjoy competing. I was competing 4 times a year all the way up to my purple belt.
Well, I saw a couple purple belt matches of yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. When I was a white belt, it was cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Can't believe it's been a while. Yeah. You know, and you guys the grip.
I saw a nasty armbar Lawrence got this guy on, and another thing was the what was that nasty choke where you put your...
Oh, that's Professor Andrea.
Yeah, you put your hands right by their neck.
Yeah, I actually don't know what it is, but when they go double unders, right, you get your thumbs right on their carotid.
It's like a teepee choke.
Teepee, that's what it is.
Teepee choke, yeah. And you extend your legs.
I saw him catch that when I was a white
Even
belt.
the ref, dude, was like, oh, that choke sucks.
Because I was like, what is that? I remember that. It left an impression on me watching Lawrence do that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, because that one's equally painful as it is.
It sucks.
Choky.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah. You're just driving.
It really depends on how you get your grip, right?
Yeah.
It's better if you get it right on the carotid because then whether it hurts or not, he's going out.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah. Okay, so you end up starting in 2010. Mm-hmm. And then when was your first major injury?
First major injury was my knee. I haven't had a lot of injuries. I keep moving away from this.
That's all right. We'll just keep slapping you.
It's fine. Yeah. I deserve it. If not now, for future dumb shit that I'll say. My first, it was a knee injury. Playing spider guard. And it just popped. Mm-hmm. It was a loud pop. Everybody in the gym heard it. Yeah. Over there, we were training in Bothell with Andrea. Was training with Luis. You know Luis?
I do.
Luis, what's Luis? He does a lot of traveling, makes video games. You definitely know him. He trained in Redmond with Miriam.
I think
definitely know him.
Like the Facebook group.
He's awesome, dude. Yeah. I miss him. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he's one of my favorite people. And I don't even think he did anything wrong. I think I just did the opposite thing, and my knee just popped, and the tendon just had enough.
Was it a ligament injury? Do you remember what it was?
It's been the same thing on all 6 injuries. That just this outside tendon just pops.
Maybe an LCL injury. I don't know.
Yeah, I had 4 MRIs on 6 injuries. Wow. And when I hurt them the last time, it felt the same, and it was getting better every day, and I didn't feel the need to spend the money on the MRI because it was feeling pretty good. So, and every time I hurt them, they got better faster.
Yeah.
Well,
The first time I injured them, both legs, the first time it took 3 months before I was limping for 3 months.
yeah.
And then the second time, less. The third time, just a few weeks. And I was back to training.
Yeah, I mean, that just is part of it, right? And
So,
it's
I think
learning
those are the really
experience,
only injuries. I had a rib injury in a tournament at Blue Belt where I was actually winning, and I felt like watching the guy that I was going to go against in the finals, I felt like I was going to mop him up. And then, but I wasn't able to continue because my rib popped. You see my little bump? My little friend.
It's a cute guy.
It's a cute little bump. It's not normal, though. Yeah. And that took a few months. That took a few months to heal.
Yeah.
I was break down in tears if I thought I was going to sneeze.
Right.
Oh, they're horrible. Rib injuries are the worst. Yeah, absolutely they are.
Most common.
Professor Mark took me to the hospital, and they did X-ray and said, "You're fine.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt for a while.
Suck it up.
Suck it up."
Yeah, there's not much to do about them either.
Yeah.
They said that they used to wrap your lungs, but then it promotes.
So you can get a pneumonia.
Pneumonia,
too.
yeah.
So the
That's why they don't do that anymore.
Exactly.
He said, "Yeah,
that's exactly right." It just is it's a terrible injury to have, especially for grappling.
So when did you get your black belt?
I got my black belt in December 21. Ooh. Pretty recent, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fresh black belt. Still feels pretty
fresh.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wash it every time I grapple, so it is very fresh.
You do?
Yeah.
That's
I don't believe it
topic.
holds powers. No.
And,
Okay.
and he doesn't wipe his. I've watched him. He doesn't wipe his head with his belt either.
That's weird. Why would you do that? But my sleeve though.
Yeah. If
A lot.
you're not
Like
gonna
a
use
lot.
your sleeve, you use your belt.
Thank you, Lawrence, for confirming that. I thought it was weird too.
both
It's definitely
you
weird.
guys, Both you
Like,
guys.
how
with
do
a
you
head of
use
hair.
your belt? Like, you take it off and use it, or
If your belt's already off?
okay?
Just watch this.
I just get it nice and taut, and then I put it there, and it's like I'm shaving my head. And just done. One wipe.
Okay, so I can see that if you're a bald guy, right? I'm not a bald guy,
No, you're not.
so that wouldn't work too well with me.
No, exactly.
But it definitely seems like it would work better for
It'll
you.
definitely work really well for Chris in about a year.
Oh,
It's going quick,
shit.
dude.
I know. My hair is starting to recede too. It's not. You're not the only.
Oh, mine's
it's
not
part
receding.
of age.
Mine's in full retreat.
Yeah, his is fully disappearing.
It doesn't look bad yet. You're
Thanks,
good.
dude.
Thanos is clicking.
And
He's
I'm-
warming those fingers up.
And I know you would tell me.
I would.
I know
I
you
certainly would.
That's
Yes.
what I love about Lawrence.
True.
I'm
Do
an
you want
I'm an
to
open book.
look like put your head down and look at the table so we can get a light on the top of that dome?
Oh, it's going. No, I think people can use their imagination on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George Costanza is easy to remember.
The guy who's talking about it. It's hilarious.
I didn't want to say it.
I know. I did. So, yeah. So new. How's that feel? I mean, it's only been like what, six or 7 months.
It hasn't been long at all.
No.
Yeah, it's feels like a lot, especially at first.
Yeah.
Were you expecting it?
It sounds bad, but yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
feel
we
like
typically
5
do
days,
big
5
promotion.
days before promotions,
Yeah.
Andrew had a talk with me he never had before, and it just felt like he wasn't like, "You're getting your black belt," but it felt like he
Birds
was.
and the bees kind of thing.
Nah, I don't know. It just felt like he's like, "Man, your technique is excellent. I just feel like you're giving up too soon when you're going against somebody you think is better than you." Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
Like sage wisdom for
It felt
your life.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
felt like it was coming. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Not because
Would you have cried if you
I didn't
didn't get
expect it? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You wouldn't have
I
cried?
would not have cried. I would not have cried.
I'm not saying I'd second guess.
I feel like Andrew does the best job of promoting people. He knows when they're ready, and if he didn't think I was ready, then I'm not fucking ready, right? So, yeah.
How about this? What was your favorite promotion?
My favorite promotion was definitely Purple Belt.
That one felt just
Yeah, you go from beginner to advanced. That's the first belt to advanced, right? And you get your purple belt, and no one's giving you shit, right? Like, it's all gone, and anything that they were giving you before is totally gone, and just feels like kind of a badass, right? It's the first, okay, this guy is legit, and he's moving on from the basics to some advanced jiu-jitsu, and
there's a respect of knowledge there.
Definitely. I'll never forget Professor Ray when he had his youngest kid, who's like 10 now or 11. He was doing what is it when they have first birthday in Hawaiian culture? It's a luau. Sorry. Oh, okay. It's a big deal in Hawaiian culture because they didn't live very long. So they have a big party for the first year. It's a big deal. They invite it's usually like a week party, right? It's not like just a day. Anyway, so it's the first time I was introduced by rank. It was so weird. Everybody he introduced me to, he said, "This is Lawrence. He's a purple belt." It's like, oh yeah, I am a purple belt.
Heck yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, purple belt for sure.
So that just felt super good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, kind of speaking of belt progressions, how do you think, where did your game kind of develop? Where did you go naturally to?
Oh my God, for sure. Right away.
Yeah, talk to me
Professor
about that.
Miriam really helped me feel comfortable there too, which I don't feel like I can do like I used to. I felt better with my guard blue belt and a purple belt. People are passing my guard more and more.
Your closed guard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Andrew was always telling me to expand and grow and do some other shit, and Miriam's like, fuck that, dude, get really good at something. And then when you get your black belt, you can do whatever the fuck you want. She didn't say it like that, but that's what I got out of it. She didn't use the word fuck. I would do that.
Okay.
But she did say, focus on what you're good at and get really good at something, and then expand when you get your black belt. And so I kind of did both. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned a lot. Andrew had Miriam and Mark and Andrea all teaching for him. And I was able to take all of their styles and steal something from all of them. Mark had a huge influence on my on my game, and Professor Andrea's had a huge impact on my passing game with her pressure on the throat and the sternum, and to be so small and be able to put so much pressure. And Miriam helped me with some really small details with even in my closed guard. I remember setting up a Kimura as a blue belt, and she was like, "Why do you open your guard, Lawrence? Why are you opening your guard to set this up? Keep your guard closed." And I was like, "Well, I can't make room." And she's like, "Yes, you can. You just have to scoot your elbow in, and you can." And I was like, "Oh, that's way better." So having so many black belts, all teaching pretty much the same techniques, but different perspectives. Mark is tall and long, and good luck passing his guard.
Right.
Andrew has a very pressure and fast.
Yeah.
And so very different styles, all impacting what's my style today, right?
Yeah. So what would you say throughout the journey? It's like a top memory.
Top memory. Top most memorable, or top your favorite? What do you mean?
Both.
I remember the first time I submitted Andrew, I felt like he was fucking mad at me. Dude, seriously. And then years later, Sabrina chokes him unconscious, and he's fucking happy and all giddy and laughing. So I left the gym thinking he was pissed.
Right.
He came at me a fucking 1,000% and made sure I knew who the fucking boss was. Right.
What were you? Purple belt?
I think I was a blue belt the first time I got Andrew, right? Because I had my blue belt for a while.
And he just attacked you.
Dude, attacked me. And then I remember I was getting ready for bed, and he texted me, "Good job, fucker." And then I was like, oh, he's not mad. Oh, good. Oh, that makes me so happy he's not mad. I was so upset that he was upset. I didn't know why he was mad.
My Dan story, how he remembered it for 2 months without coming into the gym. And the first thing he said to me was...
He goes, "Yep.
I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, as you walk the plank.
Yeah. It's like, we're doing the first round. I'm like, I guess I'll be throwing up today. Good.
That's awesome, Lawrence.
Oh man,
I've noticed. Oh, actually, when you got your purple belt,
yeah,
did you notice that? Because this is a little bit of a stereotype.
Sure,
is that when you get your purple belt, black belts and brown belts will go harder.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why it was one of my favorite belts, because no one's giving you anything anymore. It's gone. All that letting you work is gone. You purple belt. Yeah, it's over.
It's noticeable that those high ups are
definitely going harder. Yeah, now. Because now you're not a beginner anymore. Now you're advanced, and now you're you almost have to treat them that way because they're going to get you right. And
Kyle, Professor Kyle, he mentioned something sometime, because it was the first time I had my friend Aurelius come in, and Aurelius has been training for a long time.
Yeah,
and he was a purple belt for a long time.
Most people are, right?
Yeah,
I mean, not everybody progresses as quickly as you have.
Right. And Kyle said something, and I had mentioned to Kyle, like, you know, he's a purple belt, but he trains, like, he's been training a long time. So, and he had a good tough round with him, and I remember when he left and all that. And I was like, I just wanted to give him like a little disclaimer, like that he's not like your first day purple belt, like, you know, he's a very seasoned guy. And Kyle said something that I thought it stuck with me, and I realized to be true. And that's, especially at purple belt, you just go into it as they could be black belt level.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be guys that are like, let's say Aurelius, where he
training a long time.
He's training a long time.
A lot of different gyms.
A lot of different gyms. And he just hasn't been at one, like, he's under
You have to be in one place long enough to get promoted.
And he's under the same person, like, this whole time. But he's living up here, he's living down there, he's working somewhere else. So it becomes kind of like when do you get promoted kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then you throw in an injury or a break or whatever. But he's always been into it. So he can give, you know, your everyday black belt a really tough role. And Kyle's like, well, you know, I just go into them, like, especially if I don't know them, that they could easily be someone that's going to have that level of technique.
Just because they have a purple belt means they're advanced level, and you got to take them serious.
Yeah,
I mean,
that stuck with me, especially to be able to protect myself. Like, if there's a visitor.
And I like your disclaimer. That's important, because when I went on vacation to visit my mom years ago, I was a brown belt. I had my brown belt a long time.
When I met you, you were a brown belt.
Yeah, 6 years I had my brown belt. But I wasn't very consistent. I was working construction. Right. It was hard to get in, go pour fucking 20,000 square feet and get excited about fucking training, dude.
Back injury in there?
Yeah.
Something that was really kind
of... I hurt my back a long time ago in proper lifting as a young man, 22. And so it's never really been the same. And some days it hurts more than others. It's really weird kind of thing. It gets inflamed, and then it will hurt for 3 or 4 days where it locks up. Like, I can't fucking barely move.
Right.
So I was visiting my mom, and I try to train when I'm out, you know, at least once.
You take a gi when
stay active. Vacation? Usually, almost always. I mean, if I plan on training.
Sure.
And so I dropped in this gym, and I'm going with a white belt, and it took me a minute to realize, but everybody starts watching us. And he's a pro fighter. I didn't know. He's not a fucking white belt, dude.
Right.
Like, he didn't kick my ass, but I didn't kick his ass either. He fucking held his own.
Right.
And at the end, the instructor was like, I don't feel too bad. He's a pro fighter. And I was like, yeah, you got to give that guy a fucking blue belt or a purple belt. He is no white belt, dude. No way.
That was
dude.
how
he
Aurelius
was fucking, he was really good.
That was how Aurelius got his blue belt. Is because... I forgot who it was, which instructor it was he had. But they were just like, you can't, no, you're not coming in here tapping brown belts.
Well, and that's what I really respect about Andrew. He's really good about putting somebody where they need to be. If they come from another gym, you know,
Well,
he won't just give it to you, but he'll roll with you and he'll figure it out and he will put you where he thinks you need to be, you know? And
the guy just got his purple belt. He hadn't been with us that long. And I don't even think he had any stripes, but he's a blue belt.
I think he had 2 stripes.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought Andrew gave him those. Okay.
Pretty sure he had a couple.
Well, he progressed to purple belt, I would say quickly. Sure. And it was totally deserving because that dude is a freaking juggernaut handful.
He sure is.
who are we talking about?
How do you say his name? Do you remember?
Nope.
You talking about Trey?
Trey.
You guys are animals.
Well, I thought it was Ty, and then I remember there was a different Ty, and he was gone. So I didn't want to.
Apparently, I guess I'm the only one that
sorry,
cares about
I asked. I was like, who is this? Who are we talking about?
At least it's not a thing, Chris. Gosh, you smell like Bengay.
I know. And prune juice. But no, I had a really good situation with him the day he got promoted.
That's why he got promoted. What? He beat the shit out of you.
He did a good job.
Oh,
so
good.
Funny.
I know. That's what my mom says. Okay, so you were just saying that you were telling the guy, like, dude, you got to get that guy a blue belt.
Yeah. So we had a great roll. He was awesome. Yeah. And, I don't typically go into a match with a white belt 100%.
Sure.
I don't care how big he is, right? If you got a white belt on, you haven't been training very long, I want to fill you out. And that was the wrong thing to do with him. He was a pro fighter, and he gave me a run for my money.
Yeah, that'll happen too. That's not.
No disclaimer. That's why I was giving you props for the disclaimer. Because if he had told me, I wouldn't have went in guns blazing, but I wouldn't have been caught off guard like that. Sure. Like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Which can kind of be dangerous, really, for yourself.
Well, I've been training long enough, dude. I'll let you pass before I let you hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wasn't expecting this white belt to
have some
put so much pressure on me. It was intense, dude. Yeah, he was fucking good.
Yeah. So that was one of the tapping Andrew for the first time.
Yeah. That
was one of your most memorable or happy?
Most memorable. I wouldn't say happy because I was disappointed. I thought he was mad at me.
Right.
I didn't know what I did wrong. It wasn't like a crazy thing. It was just regular submission, right? It didn't hurt him. It wasn't like I wasn't being crazy, wild or anything. It wasn't like
Yeah.
I just thought he was upset. And
happy.
My happiest moment, man. There's so many happy moments. I try to keep a smile on my face.
Did you get teary-eyed when you got like your blue belt or anything?
I was expecting to get a little emotional with my black belt.
Yeah.
I kind of surprised myself.
I was more happy.
I was definitely happy.
Yeah, we all have the photo.
I feel the photo is a little misleading because you're like cracking jokes. So my big ass smile was really laughing at your joke, but it works out perfect. Right. It looks like I'm excited about my black belt, and I was, but it was really the jokes.
The time.
I don't believe it. He was cracking jokes.
He definitely was.
Bill?
He definitely
Andrew's
was.
Shoulder.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, obviously I'm sarcastic. Yeah, I believe it 100%.
The
one of my favorite pictures ever, though. Yeah, it was a great
it was
capture.
Viral on BJJ Fanatics. Like
it was, dude. It was awesome.
It was kind of funny.
And I like how what's his name mistook my picture for Andrew. I didn't want to like correct him.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy who starts who's the BJJ Fanatic guy? Yeah.
Bernardo?
He congratulated Andrew on his black belt. And I wanted to correct him. And I'm like, fuck it. It's not worth it, dude. It's not. He's just saying congratulations. It's the same as him saying it to me, right? He doesn't know that Andrew has had his black belt for a long ass time.
Right.
Andrew promoted me.
Right.
Andrew posted the picture, though. So he thought it was Andrew getting his black belt.
Yeah. I'll write him a letter.
I was like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah.
He seems like one of the nicest people in the world.
He really does, dude.
You know,
Have you ever seen his like
pressure passing pressure passing encyclopedia? One of my favorite jiu-jitsu DVDs I ever purchased.
Well, it's crazy because he's literally maybe the nicest person.
Yeah.
But then, have you ever seen like how intense he is for competition?
Yep.
You know he competed a lot, I know, as a kid, especially.
World champion, yeah.
multiple times. But his intensity is like Marigali, like that. Like
really?
A demon starts to come out, and then he'll like run across the mat.
Oh,
and, like,
jeez.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Like psychological, get in their head.
Yeah, he's very intense, but very not intense outside of
when you're not competing.
Yeah,
Andrew gets the same way.
Right.
He like pumps himself up, and like walking back and forth, and like just looking kind of intimidating.
Seen him compete.
Never.
I've
only seen him
been
compete
off the mats for like probably
was it
6,
only
7
once?
years?
Only once. I only seen him compete once. It was awesome.
Have you seen him? So it's probably more because you've been trained for 6 or 7 years.
Almost 8.
So
it was a great match.
So okay, it's right in there.
Yeah,
I know there's the photos. I think of the last time that we have up in the gym.
He's competing, isn't he, this year?
Well, I know it's a goal. Like
he wants to. It's difficult when you own a gym because you want to be there to coach your guys, but you basically got to pick a tournament and decide that you guys are on your own.
Yeah. And that's the big
We have enough coaches anyway. Now it's a little bit easier for him to compete than it was before. We have a lot of
I struggle with my mental stuff with competing.
It's part of the reason why we should all compete a little bit, right?
What we're gonna do is we're gonna like just.
And you did awesome the last time you competed. It was an excellent match.
Thank you. I'm gonna we'll probably like just not tell anybody, and we're just gonna go to like Oregon and do a IBJJF or something.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And then we coach each other and like don't have to worry, and it's like very small.
You're good. Yeah, there's 2 of you. Yeah. Both capable.
Yeah. I'm sure probably more than just 2 of us, but not a big thing like the Rev or something like that where, okay, we got 7 guys, and Andrew, he likes to, if he can, he wants to coach.
Of course.
It's the first time hearing about it. Kind of hurt.
Hearing about what?
This whole plan. Something I'd kind of like to do too, maybe. I don't know.
Bill's leaving you out.
Well, he's going to say they don't have any master. There's no master 5s.
You're not master 5. Well, what's your?
I am master 5.
But what's your special designation?
Oh, at Rev?
Yeah,
director.
He's a director.
Yeah,
sounds very official.
Adult, master, executive.
Oh shit!
Old ass director.
Old ass director.
And then crypt keeper after that. Yeah. There's nothing after that.
Well, it's funny. They don't say. It doesn't say crypt keeper. There's just a little button with an MP3, and it's like
Tales from the Crypt. Shout out.
They look similar, right?
No.
Can you do it?
No.
They need to bring that shit back, dude. That was some scary shit. They did a really good job.
For sure. Yeah. No, and even though I'm in a director division, they end up putting me in masters anyway.
Yeah.
So like 2 age groups down because there's no one as old and decrepit as me, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't look that old, so.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I feel it. So.
Well.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, it'd be nice to be included. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, it's not right.
Phil included. He told you. We're all on the same page. I told
you right here.
Lawrence.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm trying to work something here, man.
He's trying to guilt you.
Gosh.
You can't guilt someone without a conscience, though.
Without a soul, right?
Andrew's not here. Gosh, just give me a rim shot, please. Sure. Hey, gingers.
Very nice.
Gentrification. Love it. Gotta tell her to patent that shit.
Who?
Yeah.
Carrie.
Oh, my wife? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said other stuff too that we shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Because we'll be canceled immediately.
When you got your some of these major or kind of difficult injuries, what was the main way you rehabbed them?
Time. I didn't do a lot, to be honest. I probably could have rehabbed my knees better all 3 times. 6 times, because it was 3 times on each knee. I didn't do a lot of rehab. I just waited until it didn't hurt anymore. I would go, once I stopped limping, I would go into the gym and do technique, and that was it. I would even skip situationals until it was feeling
You were still
good.
coming in for the most part?
I was still coming in, though, yeah. Well, I would take however much time until I wasn't limping. I would come in and watch every now and then. It depends. Like I said, 6 injuries over the course of, 9 years.
Yeah.
So they were all a little different, and I was more active than not in some of them. And I didn't trade through COVID at all.
Right.
Shannon was pregnant. I was like, I don't know what is going on. Yeah. And they did a great job of scaring the fuck out of me.
We call it Voldemort.
Voldemort. I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot, dude. I did watch all of them. But already.
Well, this will be the only one that gets pulled off the air.
Oh, damn it. Can we edit it, Voldemort? Can you go back and edit it and just like, I'll even say Voldemort. You could even use my own voice.
Right. I'll use Dumbledore's voice.
And we'll actually put his face on yours too.
I love it.
Remove your nose.
I love it.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't.
So I didn't. Yeah, I didn't do a lot of rehab, dude. It would have probably been better if I had. Hindsight,
use
right?
That time, yeah. Because we have some questions that came from outside sources.
Okay. They'd like to have.
Yeah, just
what I did. Yeah, sorry. I just stayed safe and didn't train.
What about training anything outside of the gym? Weights, running?
No, concrete.
Keto.
I eat concrete.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. You've been.
I try to eat clean, right? I try not to put a bunch of crap in my body.
You've been cross-choked by him before, right?
Well, he tried 5 times yesterday.
Yeah, he did a great job of avoiding
That's
them.
not what I was saying. Have you been before?
We had a great roll. Yeah. I had unbelievable pressure.
Yeah.
Or body lock. Super annoying.
He kept going for the. It's like a punch choke.
I almost had it.
There was one that I was like, I rolled the wrong way.
Yep.
And it got tighter.
Well, the reason why I was bringing it up is the grip strength. When you were asking about outside stuff.
No, the first time he ever tapped me, I remember it.
Dude.
The first time?
Yep.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Had to have been, because I know you like 6 years.
Yeah. I was a white belt, and I remember because it was a cross collar choke.
That's my jam, dude. That one in the triangle choke, that's my favorite shit to do.
Exactly. And I was passing. That part's a little vague of like.
I love to let someone pass too. Yeah. I will choke you even if you pass. If I have my first grip super deep.
Yeah. And you establish it very early.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, if you pass and then that's not good.
That's kind of like what we both do. We both establish a cross grip.
Yep.
And then kind of just.
We'll see where it goes. Let's see where it goes.
So you stole it from Lawrence.
Stole what?
For sure. I've stole plenty from all of our professors, right? That's part of the game. You can steal away, bro. That's what I love about jiu-jitsu. Exactly. You can't steal it because I gave it away. Here you go.
He's such a narc.
I'm that guy. Teacher, you didn't give us homework.
And I started passing, and I had, for some reason, I had already known, you can, kind of a last-ditch effort is, so get your hand in there. Boom. And I started to do that, but I could tell it wasn't going to work. So then I started to try to back out, stiff arm your chest, get your arms extended.
I'm going to come with you.
And all you did is you stood up.
Yeah.
You stood right up, and then you kept cross-collar choking me while it looked like we were making out. And I had to tap.
I promise you weren't the only one.
Oh, no, I've seen you do it like
it
1,000
works
times
well, right? If you have it in there, dude.
But
I don't need to have my guard.
like it was yesterday. And
that was a long time ago.
And
getting old.
Holy smokes.
We are getting old.
It was just a funny thing. Like I remember getting cross-collared and then you standing up with me, still finishing it. And then literally ever since then, like I know I can do that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It was fun.
Absolutely.
Like you just follow
everything that I've done, someone did to me first.
Yeah. So yes, I have been.
Oh yeah, he's almost put me out several times.
It's not saying much though.
Yeah.
You guys remember Fred?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his son, Warren.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Come on, dude. Come on. We haven't seen him in a while. But same thing, dude. Except for I didn't come up with him. He thought he was passing. And he fell asleep right on top of me. On top of me. I'm like, I didn't want to like throw him off.
No, I was actually there for that.
Were you? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I was past your guard. I thought I was good. And I was like, yeah, I got the choke in there pretty deep, dude.
You know what's interesting? People don't go out as much as you. Like I thought when I started jiu-jitsu. I thought like, people are going out left and right, I bet. But people don't actually go
I only ever went out one time. And it was visiting in Factoria Gym. Craig, police officer, skateboarding police officer.
Yeah.
Guy's cool. I love to follow that. I love to follow that guy, dude. It's such a cool guy.
He's the Bellevue cop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. very
Baseball bat
active.
choke.
Yeah, baseball. Yeah, he's very active in the community, and he's helping these young kids, dude. I think it's really cool.
Famous.
But yeah, he got me in that baseball bat choke. I had my hooks, and I just knew, fucking purple belt. He was a blue belt. I knew he couldn't choke me. I had my hooks. Fucking waking up underneath the guy, like, what just happened? I got you with the baseball bat choke. I was like, fuck yeah, you did, dude. That was awesome.
That's my nemesis.
Dude,
the
so bat good, choke. Dude. I love a baseball bat choke.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And I realized that it doesn't happen. I think only gone out once.
Me too. In 12 years, right?
Yeah.
So that's a long time. And
you
just tap out, right? And they let you go. It's a weird thing.
It's the sneaky ones.
Yeah, Bill, what was that one time that you went out?
Yeah, let's hear that. Yeah.
It was situationals.
Situationals?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there was probably a 3-week white belt there. And we were starting, Andrew had us starting in, like someone's on your back with a bow and arrow.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
they already have a collar.
Oh, fuck.
So
you're like 3/4 of the way submitted.
You're starting really deep.
Yeah.
And like this is also, it was a lady, and she was, like I said, probably 3 weeks in. And I knew I'd like literally could just go and like dive my back to the mat, and like I'm going to unravel it and it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But instead, I allow her to fall to the strong side. And I'm like, okay, now I'm going to work. Now I'm going to boom, boom. And I was doing it.
Too late.
And I was going, and I was good. And I'm pulling the sleeve down, and I'm getting my head, and I can feel their arm at my ear. And I'm like, okay, we're here, and I'm chilling. And then out of nowhere, Josh is like standing above me with his big double chin. And he's just looking down at me. He's like, he just starts laughing. And
you want Haggerty?
Yeah, Haggerty. That's why double chin.
I got a double chin. What's up, motherfucker?
Well, yours is up and down.
This is a butt chin. Oh, yeah. Double chin is here, right? All right. My bad. I got a butt chin, not a double chin.
Calling him fat.
He's not fat, though.
I know he's not, but that's why I get to call him fat.
Can't wait until you roll with him next.
It's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Gosh. So he starts kind of laughing, and I'm just like, okay. And then I sit up, I start trying to put my belt on, and I can barely do it. I'm like crossing my arms like all retarded. And then Andrew's like, you good? And I'm like, I start standing. I'm like, of course I'm. What is this? This is weird. And I start stumbling, walking to the, like, trying to find my line. And then Josh goes, dude, you were out, dude. Like, you understand that? But the bell had, like, the round ended, or situations ended while I was out. So that's why people were getting up, and I started getting up and thinking everything was fine. I had no idea.
Well,
Olivia was super mad at me, though. You want to talk about that?
What?
You were mad at me.
I was. That you allowed yourself to be choked out by a white belt that had been there for. I was like, why would you do that? Why would you allow them to
work a little, right? Letting them work a little.
She's a savage. She was mad at me.
It's hilarious.
I know. Oh, jeez.
You broke a chair? Break a chair?
I'm mad now.
Did you really just break that?
No.
He's really getting upset.
Oh, it just adjusts for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his way of adjusting.
Yeah. That was when I went out. But I haven't seen someone go out in training in like.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, man. You just tap and it's all good, right? So you don't tap and that's when you go out, right? Seriously, I really didn't. When I went out, I didn't think it could choke me.
Yeah. I think that's.
I was wrong.
The last one I saw.
I almost choked a white belt out a couple weeks ago. We were doing situationals, and collar choke, and here we are. He's not tapping. It's in there. I hear him even, and I'm like, I'm not letting go until you tap, dude. And then he let go, and he was like, man, I was like, if we were doing like an arm bar, I would let go, but you got to learn one way or another, dude.
Right. Well, and I think there's a point sometimes to like finding your limits and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I'll let a choke go a little longer because sometimes they'll let go because they think they don't have it.
Well,
fucking Josh is great at it, dude. He'll even like breathe just to like psych you out.
Sometimes he does this. I'm choking him, and he puts his hand on his...
done that to me.
And then he'll just kind of like blink a couple times. And I'm like, okay, this is dumb. He's like, oh, dude, you had it.
You had it. I was just playing psychological games with you.
Yeah, he's like Hitler's son or something, like playing games. It's ridiculous. Makes me so mad when he does that.
I've never seen that. That is hilarious. Oh. He does the breathing thing to me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's a blood choke, bro. That shit's not going to work. Yeah, you can't breathe your way out of a blood choke.
Well, the good one, or maybe the best, and I have stole this a couple times from him, is when he gets you with some just stupid BS.
He's good at that little small stuff.
It's like every time.
His details are so good.
And you tap, and he kind of jolts. It's all in the details. He doesn't just respond. He jolts. He goes, oh. What happened? What was that?
You know what happened, motherfucker.
Right after you just like verbally tapped of your wrist getting broken. And
he just wanted you to repeat it.
Yeah.
What was it? What was that?
Did you tap?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, you were breaking my arm. It's like, oh, okay. Do you want to reset?
Yes, please.
I guess.
You know, this all makes sense because Carrie is his protege.
Yeah, it's very similar. Like I can imagine.
Mm-hmm. She revels in that.
Yeah,
it's quite fun.
Debauchery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's probably going to be a list like pedophiles for you guys.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. You're lumped in.
What?
What?
We're just putting you on the list.
Of what?
Sex offenders.
Holy shit.
I don't know. He said pedophiles.
I was thinking,
sex offenders is more broad. Pedophiles is very specific.
I was thinking cheeky devils like Josh and Carrie.
Oh.
But sex offender also works.
That's great.
You know, what was that from that Horrible Bosses?
Oh, God, what a great movie.
I was taking a piss at midnight outside of an elementary school. And then he got put on the sex offender list.
Oh, gosh.
I haven't seen the sequel.
They're both great.
Yeah.
They're both great.
I can imagine.
Anyway.
I have an odd story to divert us a little bit. I've lived a couple different lives.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was one time that me and some friends were up to no good.
Mm-hmm.
And because the elementary school thing reminds me.
Mm.
Oh, that's good.
And it was probably midnight. And the police were chasing us.
Oh,
and
boy.
we ditched our car in like a neighborhood in Edmonds. And
middle school?
You were what?
You said middle school?
We end up in a middle school.
Okay.
I'll get there.
Sorry.
Shout out to Christian, Edmonds cop. So we're jumping people's fences and stuff. And at this time, we know that there's like a couple different cop cars because you see the lights flashing over there, and you see the lights like behind you and stuff. And we're going like from backyard to backyard, right, like sideways. And then those yards were backed up to I forgot what. It's by people that are in Edmonds know. It's by Five Corners. It's like right down the street. Maybe Spruce or something. I don't know. But we're like, oh, let's go into the big field, you know, like, so we're a little bit farther away. We jump the fence, we run over there, and then we're just sprawled out, right? And then we see now there's a lot of cops. There's some in the parking lot of the school, and we're just laying flat, face in the dirt, just wondering if we're going to get away with it, because it kind of felt like it, because we've been there for like 5-10 minutes.
How old are you?
No comment.
That's what I was asking.
No comment.
And then we're thinking we're pretty smart at this point, because it was almost like a mini berm, so you couldn't quite see us just laying in the field. And then all we hear is some horrific barking and growling.
Oh, no.
And we hear on the mic or on the PA, he's like, we're going to release the dog. We see you. We see you. And then like all the spotlights just go on us from like 3 different directions. I'm telling you, I soiled myself probably 3 quarts of urine.
That's a lot.
On myself.
I bet that smelled great.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell too much. I peed on the other guys too. And we turned ourselves in.
That's a wise decision.
Not much of a climax to that story.
Yeah.
But it just reminded me about elementary school. That was the last time I was at elementary school.
That's hilarious.
Besides when I defecated. But yeah, I got another question about Black Belt.
Please ask away.
Favorite submission.
My favorite submission.
Wait. More to it, right? Is this that one?
Well, not yet.
Okay.
What's your favorite submission?
I'm a triangle guy. I love
Triangle?
triangle choke.
I lost $1. I bet
You're going to say collar choke?
I thought it was too.
So, effectiveness, collar choke, favorite triangle choke.
What about it?
It's very versatile. I feel like even in a self-defense situation, but even in jiu-jitsu situation, I can hit kimuras, I can hit arm bars. I mean, I can do almost anything from there.
From triangle?
From triangle, yeah.
For sure.
It's just a great overall amazing position.
You have a certain setup. It's like your go-to close guard, spider guard, donkey guard.
I mean, no.
Just getting into it.
Yeah. Any way, head and arm, lock your guard, and then all of the details change depending on what they're doing, right? It's a hard position because there's so many small things that you have to do, and everything that they do determines what you need. That's like that in every position, but triangle, I think, is a little bit more intricate than most submissions.
What about you?
What, my favorite submission? I like
what gives you the most tingles in your butt when you get it?
Well, we're talking about butt tingling. Probably head and arm choke.
Yeah, that's a good one. I do like that a lot.
I like setting that one up.
I remember asking Andrew as a white belt, "Can you teach me arm triangle?" And he's like, "No." No, I think you're doing fine right now. Yeah, that's a little too advanced. And I was like, fuck you, YouTube is right there, dude. What do you mean no? That's weird.
That's awesome.
No? Okay, fine.
Were you a brown belt?
No, God, no. I was a white belt. Yeah, I was a white belt. Just curious about arm triangle, you know, and he fucking shot me down.
That kind of goes right into my top half game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sometimes, I like them a lot.
Great, dude. Head and arm is a great choke. It's one of my favorites, too. Yeah.
It feels good to get, though.
It does, dude.
Yeah.
Dominating position without giving up a lot, right?
You can hear the gurgle.
The gurgle. I like the gurgle.
Any choke, you can hear the gurgle. Though.
True,
but
your ear is right next to their mouth.
I had the same thing with this one, right?
Yeah, you almost made out with me one time. Jeez.
I just had to get you asleep first.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what you thought. I didn't wear this shirt for nothing.
Oh, just gotta ask.
Yeah.
You gotta ask. Why you gotta choke me, bro? You just ask.
Yeah.
Were you Bill Cosby?
Too soon.
Oh, sorry.
How about a post-training meal? Do you guys go to
post-training meal?
You say you try to eat clean as much as
you can.
I
try not to buy any bullshit, right? So I try to stay away from processed sugar as much as possible. Ice cream, all of the...
Why'd you point at Bill?
Because he loves processed sugar. He trains enough to offset it, right? But
I mean, I think for sure if I continue doing this, it would be bad.
Yeah.
But
look, everything in moderation, right?
Stopping?
Huh?
Do you have any plans on stopping?
Fuck no, what? Silliness.
Thank you.
Well, you said if you continue.
Yeah.
As in,
well, I know at some point I'm not gonna train as much as I do right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna be able to eat the way
the train ain't slowing anytime.
Olivia, he doesn't have a mark on the calendar somewhere.
No.
Well, especially I'm not gonna slow down because right now I'm obsessed with judo.
Yeah.
So
it's a good obsession. I love the judo class we did on.
Oh, that was
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
I like
Wednesday.
I like. Yeah,
it was awesome.
I'm there Wednesday, but
it was awesome.
I did. I've been doing a lot of ashiwaza foot sweeps.
Yeah.
So a lot of timing based stuff just to get reps.
Really good.
So post workout.
Yeah, like something that replaces the glycogen and like you had some good tough rolls, or do you even pay attention to the?
No, I definitely do, especially listening to all our podcasts and reading Chris's book. Shout out to Strong Medicine.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah. Hey. Oh, no? I thought it was the wah, wah, wah.
No, because thank you, Lawrence.
No, it's a great book. I think everybody who cares about their health should read this book.
Gosh, I feel so good about myself now.
No, but I don't read for fun. I read for information. And so there's a big difference. Some people like to read, and I'm not one of them. But I do read because I like information.
Right.
So, speaking about reading, I love Andrew's obsession with reading. Wasn't fucking couple of months ago, I talked about reading a book, and he's like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to read. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck you don't have time, dude.
You know what?
You're just not prioritizing it, dude. I just called him on his shit, dude. Right. Like, you're not prioritizing it, dude. Don't tell me you don't have fucking time. You have plenty of time, dude. You talking about the fucking Ultimate Fighter, motherfucker. You have time to read, dude.
Yeah.
You have time to watch the Ultimate Fighter, but you don't have time to read a book.
You know what changed, right?
MFR?
I don't know. He said something about a competition. Yep. You have to make it a competition.
Yep.
Which he did with
And
Olivia.
now he can't stop fucking reading. It's amazing.
But he's getting curb stomped by Olivia.
That's true.
Tell me how many books you're in.
I'm on book 18.
Jesus Christ.
And she doesn't do audiobooks.
That's not fair. I aim for like 12 books a year. I want to read 12 books a year.
That's solid.
I think so, personally. Who doesn't like to read? That's a lot of books if you don't like to read. And I do audiobooks.
Yeah.
But not all the books I like to read are on audio. So I do have to read Chris's book, right? And many others.
Right. Yeah. I think Olivia had the same goal, just 12. But then Andrew kind of cooked through.
What a good number.
A couple.
Yeah, but he was getting cat in the hat and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was. And that, like, ignited her. So then she just went
Fuck
off.
you.
Yeah. Catch up, biatch.
I don't have no kids. Yeah. I don't have a business. I don't have none of that.
Yeah,
Do you have a job?
I do.
Is this your job?
This is her job.
Kind of, yeah. Work with Bill.
Yeah, she works with
Perfect.
me. But at the same time, she's just a better reader than him.
Fair enough. And look, that was his critique. It's not easy for me. Yeah. It's not easy for me either.
I think he said he's at like a 3rd grade level is what he admitted. And it was like,
oh my God.
Man, you are just,
There's nothing wrong with that.
If it were true, it would be nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. But I know. I think he was 4th, but it was. I did do a little shot and said 3rd.
You see, I mean,
what?
Oh man,
that's good.
It's good. It's good. I know it's good. He's totally listening though,
he reads the sports section very well. Statistics.
Andrew's probably built up a callus to it after all of these podcasts of all the shots at Andrew.
No, he hasn't listened to them.
And I do know he's listening to this one. He was very excited about me being on today. So
he's actually poloing me right now.
Of course,
without a shirt. Let's see.
Well, I can't put it on there because he would not be happy. Oh no, he's got a shirt on.
Yes, he does.
Beautiful, man. Looks like he's in his garage.
Hilarious.
You're eventually it's going to catch up to you.
Someday.
And I can't wait.
Have you seen how hard me and him roll now?
I think, fortunately, everybody loves Bill. So he's going to be okay.
Andrew and I have been rolling very hard lately. Mm-hmm. And I know part of it is he's getting his anger out on me for my shots across the bow. But I take them. Shoot or shoot. I'm taking shots. And I'm gonna take my shots. I'm gonna get them.
You might as well just keep insulting. You know, Muhammad should be next. You should talk about him.
No, he's the one person you haven't really insulted.
That's for you. That's because Muhammad has a piece of his heart missing, and that's where people's souls go when he wants to punish them. I've seen him punish some dudes. Oh, yeah. This poor brown belt that went for a heel hook in the gi on him.
I remember that.
He was a visitor.
Oh no!
Just didn't. I was watching from the very beginning. He didn't even like say, "Hey, you cool with like heel hooks or whatever?" Like if you wanted to do heel hooks in the gi, I'd
probably be fine.
I'd be fine.
Yeah,
I wouldn't care.
Because I wouldn't hurt.
Maybe not you. Yeah, but I would be cool.
What the hell, dude? I do catch and release. Yeah.
Bill's on fire today.
Yeah.
He's on something.
I had a Snickers on the way here.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was a suppository. Sorry. I mean, we talked about it before.
What, putting Snickers in my butt?
No, because, that way you can get calories from
whatever you're into, bro.
I'm not bad with a little Marcellus Wallace.
Okay. A little Marcellus.
But
great reference. Great reference.
Thank you.
Okay.
What were we talking about? Oh, Mo and his missing soul. So, and this guy, he just goes for it on Mo. And I'm telling you, now Mo's obviously very hard roll, no matter what.
Yeah.
But he took it up a notch.
Well,
I've never seen him go like this aggressive in like stand up, because what he ends up making you do is you're gonna have to stand up with him.
Yeah,
which is horrible. And I've seen him and Casey.
I love to watch those guys go, bro. It's not too many people that can put Casey in his place.
Yeah,
the guy's getting so good. Yeah, me too. Like I'm rolling and I'm like, hold on.
Yeah,
right. Because this super entertaining.
This poor soul. He actually was doing kind of good though, right? Like good. He was holding his own.
Casey?
This
this brown belt.
I was shocked.
It's a brown belt. I know. Mo is a stud, dude.
Still,
I know.
Surprisingly. So, but Mo ends up getting him down, and then it was like the most Big Brother mean stuff I think I've ever seen someone do. But
you start busting out a fucking heel hook on me, bro.
Yeah, like, I get it.
Yeah, it got wild. I was like,
this isn't a no-gi class, right?
Like it turned into a fight. Like not like a street fight.
Well,
but
and
like
then he did the double.
Wouldn't want to fight.
So the round ends, and he's like, let's keep going.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That was the.
I'm gonna eat your soul.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Never come back here again.
So you did a 13-minute round.
Holy shit!
It was gnarly.
I like when Mo says every time I get promoted, he goes, "Okay, Chris, I'm gonna be hard on you now." I'm like, what are you talking about? You massacre me every time.
Or he tells me like, "So don't go easy on me." I'm like,
MF,
what do you think I'm
knows,
doing?
Dude. He knows.
Struggling for my life over
just
here.
Fucking with
I just
you.
trying not to get wrist locked.
He's just fucking.
By the way, we're gonna have him on here.
Oh, dude, of course you are.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
He's a beast. I remember me, Andrew, Mo, and you guys. I don't think you ever met Professor Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I'm gonna draw a blank. I'm gonna draw a blank on his name all of a sudden. Professor James Gamble. I'm sorry, James Gamble used to train at Hybrid over there with
across the water.
Yep, across the water over. Yep, I just saw George last night at the Fight to Win. George Hastings. Yep,
or whatever.
Maybe I'm mispronouncing, but
I thought his last name was like his sung or something.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay.
I have dyslexia.
So to an H.
Whatever. George is an awesome guy, and so. James used to train over there. He was in the Navy.
Oh, is this kind of a taller black
James is
guy?
Not tall. Okay. No.
Okay.
He's like your height.
Okay.
And he
I like how he just called you
He's short. I didn't call you short. Height. You're not tall. But you're not short either. You're like average, dude. We're like the same height. If I insulted you, I insulted myself because we're about the same size.
If I'm in Nepal, I'm towering.
But we're not. So you're average.
We're in Granite Falls.
yeah, we're average.
Okay.
It is what it is. So the four of us went down to Hybrid to train. Mm-hmm. And James that's why we're super friendly with the Hybrid guys. Yeah. They're awesome, dude. We had a lot of really cool cross training with them. Mm-hmm. Several times they'll come down. It's been a while, but they'll come down or we'll go down. And one of my favorite memories ever was the four of us, me, Mo, Andrew, and James, going down to Bremerton. And Mo was a blue belt. I guess I'm probably a purple belt. And James and Andrew are obviously black belts. Mm-hmm. But everybody is like watching Mo and like, who's that fucking guy? He's just killing everybody, right? Like, he's a beast.
Right. Always been.
It was a great time, dude. Just the four of us.
Yeah.
Talking shit and big road trip, Yeah.
And, we had like a similar thing because we're cool with Seattle Jiu-Jitsu also.
Yeah.
Down in downtown.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to set up kind of like a cross-train thing where
we need to do that.
Some of them
agree.
Come up
but we need to do that more.
Yeah. I agree.
We can drop in and that's cool, but when you do it collaboratively with the whole gym, people can. Yeah. It's more helpful, right? You train with more people, different looks, and you're not used to training with them. Excuse me.
Beer.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Makes you burp.
Yeah. It's nice to know where like gyms that are similar mentality are too. It would hurt my soul if I went and paid a drop-in fee or even just spent the time to drop in someplace and like they didn't spar.
Yeah. Do you pay a drop-in fee regularly though? Like, look, I feel like I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing you a fucking favor by dropping in and rolling with your guys, dude. Like, look, if you're coming in like once a week, you need to pay a fucking. You need to pay.
Sure.
I'm saying like once a month.
Gracie,
right?
Almost not every Gracie Baja, but Gracie Baja has made me pay.
You an animal? Sorry, getting a little thick.
A little bit. I mean,
a little thick. You know, those were they're rated for 300 pounds. I don't know what.
Oh snap!
What's happened?
Hey,
too much ice cream over there.
Yeah,
Snickers.
I need some ice cream.
We call that ice cream.
Yeah. Get some DQ.
Dude, you're talking his language.
Everybody's language.
Well, I have this is my thing. When I go to DQ, we haven't been to DQ in a while. But
that's probably good. There's nothing good there for you.
Very bad stuff.
Not one thing probably healthy. Not even one.
Right. No. So I like to get my mint Oreo Blizzard on the side.
Syrup?
No. Kind of.
He's got a thing here. Let him go.
Sorry.
On the side, I get a Oreo Cupfection, which is vanilla ice cream, chocolate syrup, a couple brownies crumbled in there with Oreos.
I'm pretty sure there's marshmallow cream.
And then there's marshmallow cream on the top.
There's a lot going on there.
There is a lot going on there. And I double fist them.
Jesus.
And that's my go-to. Now, I will admit, I have a favorite, and it's not that. And it's not a DQ. You go to the grocery store. Have you guys had Acme ice cream?
Oh, I've heard about it.
It's really good.
Super creamy.
Super creamy. Like,
yeah, I got to get some for Shannon.
Shannon
loves.
Oh, did I talk about?
I like ice cream
the
too,
microwaving for 15 seconds.
Oh,
yeah, you were not on the podcast though. I think this was separate. I think we were in the gym, or maybe Kate's or something. We were. Yeah. Was a personal thing, but we should definitely put it on record here for everybody.
Yes, because people need to. I've talked about recipes before. I think Brittany tried my Greek yogurt one, right?
She did. She liked it.
She said it was good.
Yeah.
I like how you say that was your recipe when I was the one.
Oh, Olivia's recipe.
I'll admit this.
Did it.
She told me what to do.
And you did it.
And I did it.
That makes it yours.
Kudos. Yeah. Sign the dotted line 50-50. Okay. So you get Acme ice cream. I go mint chocolate chip. Okay.
Literally my least favorite. Just for the record, preferences, right? Shannon is on board 100%.
Sub out the mint with what
between strawberry or peanut butter chocolate.
Perfect. So they have a peanut butter chocolate.
Fuck yeah, they do. Why wouldn't they?
Right. Were they Nazis?
Fucking crazy.
So, and then
things are made for each other.
Exactly. Literally. So I go the mint chocolate chip, which you can sub out, whatever. And then I do their double fudge brownie. 2 pints. Right?
2 pints.
So 2 pints.
He's always got to have 2.
Yeah. And what I do is...
So this is different because before you said 1 pint, right? Or half a pint. And this was a whole pint. And now we got 4 pints.
You have to buy... No.
You doubled it. You doubled it. You doubled it, bro.
We're just doing a pint of each.
Okay. So 2 pints.
Yeah. And then you put those in the microwave. I prefer about 15 to 20 seconds.
Nice and melty.
Acme is really thick.
Okay.
So
it's not fun to like chip into your ice cream, dude.
You want to get bend in a there. Spoon.
Yeah,
and you're,
fuck that.
Damn it.
Yeah, not good.
So, and it doesn't get like watery, like because it's so thick. So, 15 seconds. I scoop half the mint, and then I do half the chocolate. Okay. Then I do chocolate syrup.
Okay, so you're not eating all the ice cream at once. So you really are just doing 1 pint.
I would be lying if I said I haven't.
Okay.
I have eaten 2 pints.
It's better to stretch it out.
Syrup.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, and it feels better that like let's say I get that day, and then a couple of days later, I want a treat. Now I've got to go to the grocery store because I still got a couple.
Because I wasn't a pig and I didn't eat it all at once.
I wasn't a pig.
He used to throw the lids away. But now
what you don't realize is how much he suffers for this.
That's true.
It's bad.
Oh, are you lactose intolerant?
I am.
You fucking goofball. Dude, why wouldn't you just do a non-dairy ice cream?
There's a couple out there.
There are a lot. Gelato, dude. There's plenty. And they taste fucking great, dude.
And they look good. They look better than like
they taste great, dude. Like you literally can't taste the fucking difference almost.
Right. I agree.
But you still fucking punish yourself.
But
But I gotta do the dairy because I don't know, because I like suffering.
Deep down, I'm a bad person. I need to suffer.
Punishing myself.
Yeah. I'm the guy.
It's like the equivalent, like the old priests used to whip themselves. I'll just kill myself.
I was going to say the Angel of Demons, that movie. Remember the guy?
Yeah, that's exactly where I got that shit.
That's me.
Whipped himself.
Well, part of it is the Acme stuff does taste so good.
Yeah.
So that's my go-to. But I have done it with the gelato stuff also, and it's good.
I haven't been disappointed with any of the gelato stuff.
Yeah.
And they got the like layered gelato that has all.
That's what I'm saying. It looks good.
So
It's like
fucking
crumble
so good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't give him a hard time about it. You see how happy he looks talking about it?
I don't give him a hard time, but if it's lactose intolerant and he's.
I'm just saying I don't as a, saying, hey, Bill, you really should cut down on it.
You know what you got to do, bro. He's pretty health conscious guy, right? As much shit as he talks about bad
Imagine
that
if I
he
was
eats, but
talking about like how much crack rocks I like smoking.
Exactly.
He would just sit here and be like, look how happy he is.
Yeah. It's the same part.
I don't tell him to smoke half.
no,
Hey.
I mean, look.
It's the
You
same
sold
part.
your house and it's okay because you're happy. It's
the same part.
You bought a yurt and now you're gonna
Some
live.
scabs on your face.
It's
all
okay
good.
as long as you're happy, bro.
And it's right. There's a meth lab right down the street.
I hear meth is super fun. If you can control yourself, it sounds like a super good time.
It does sound if you can control it.
Okay. This is where I actually have to make a statement.
Okay.
That those views do not officially reflect medical advice.
Don't do meth, kids.
Yeah, please.
Heroin?
Dude.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I know you guys like Joe Rogan. He had a really interesting doctor guy on there who talked about drugs. And
Carl.
Yeah, it was a really interesting. Doesn't mean I want to go try heroin or whatever, but he had a really cool perspective on like, look, dude, if you understand what you're doing and you don't get stupid and cave to the addiction part of it, and you let yourself detox, right?
It's the same
in
thing,
between.
though. It's the same thing, like with Bill and his ice cream.
Sure.
If he was, ate that way all the time, didn't exercise and all that,
It would definitely go the wrong way.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But, gosh, that was how do we get down on that one?
I don't know. You're just a party pooper.
So, yeah, I'm sorry.
Ruined our heroin party.
Sorry. Gosh.
What's your favorite submission that you've ever caught myself or Chris with?
Specifically.
Yeah.
This was asked, by the way, by a white belt.
This is
that's
a white
kind
belt
of a hard question. Like, I don't remember all the submissions I get people in, right? Like, look, we're rolling.
Because there's hundreds of them, man. I
don't know about hundreds, but I just mean like there are some memorable moments. Like the first time I got Andrew, he's my instructor, and he was very upset about it. So,
thought he was.
It stuck with me. No, he fucking definitely was.
Oh, okay.
And then when he texted me, "Good job tonight, fucker," late at night, it took him fucking that long to like come to not being upset about it, right?
He's gonna be so mad.
How can he be mad, dude? This happened. This was a real thing. Like, look, I'm not making this up. He was upset, and it was a long time ago too. So, like, it is what it is, dude.
This is gold.
It
man.
is
Thank
what
you.
it is.
I love it.
But okay, let's reframe the question. Thinking about each one of us, what would be the most satisfying?
I probably collar choked the both of you many times, and that's about the only thing that I can remember getting you guys with is some sort of like collar choke. I don't remember all of the things.
Would that be the most satisfying one to get us in? Yeah, it's like for Bill or I.
It's a very weird and hard question to answer because any submission is satisfying, whoever it is.
Right.
Well,
it feels better the more advanced they are. Like, you feel better about
because it took a lot of
this specific white belt is getting a lot of pleasure in asking that question.
Yeah, I can't really help him that much because I don't remember. As a white belt, you think that you remember all your submissions, but you start training for more than a decade, they kind of go away because you don't remember them.
His question is literally favorite submission on Chris and Bill.
On Chris and Bill.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to go. I don't have a favorite. It's just anytime I get you guys, it feels pretty good.
We'll allow it.
Okay.
What would you tell your white belt self your blue belt self and your purple belt self.
Wow.
Probably different things.
Definitely different things.
What'd
My
you tell your
white belt
belt?
self, I really wanted to absorb all of it at once. Give it to me all. I went and bought a fucking grappling dummy I haven't touched in I don't know how many years. All the DVDs, and like, you felt like when you start training, I want to learn all of it. You can't learn all of it. It's just too much. Like, it's impossible. It's always changing. So slow down and take it move by move. That's what I would tell my white belt self. Slow down and just take it class by class, right? 3 techniques at a time.
Blue belt self.
Blue belt self. My blue belt self, I would tell that guy to quit drinking so much beer.
And don't submit your instructor.
That's not, I wouldn't do that. No, I feel like...
Try harder against them.
We're setting you up, dude.
Submit him sooner. Submit him sooner so he's more upset.
Yeah. The thing is, as being like a black belt or instructor, some sort of higher belt, like you want, like the guys I'm teaching in the midday class,
You want to see them get better.
yeah, like if they catch me,
Yeah, that's good.
it's
a compliment.
dang.
It maybe
cool.
it doesn't feel like a compliment though. Like,
But
when
I'm
you're
competitive.
yeah.
So
Well,
I'm like,
who's more competitive than Andrew though?
Right.
And so nobody.
maybe her.
Maybe her.
Maybe her. But yes.
He's very competitive.
Agree.
And so when you open a school and you guys start catching up to you, he had time to work up to Sabrina submitting him, right? I was early on, and it happened maybe sooner than he wanted to.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know why he was mad. He could answer this better than
Yeah.
I could. But he was definitely upset.
Have you ever had
He came at me fucking like a banshee, dude. Like, you are not better than me.
He did that to me just, I want to say, a couple weeks ago. Literally.
But it wasn't the...
It wasn't the
After
first time I got him, but
No.
it was, if I ever even come close.
Yeah, I know.
He wants to be my father. Tell me to mow the lawn and wash the dishes. Tells me physically.
I completely understand.
It's good.
It is good.
I know. Yeah. Purple belt self.
Purple belt self. Purple belt self is harder to give advice to because you've been around a while and you've learned from a lot of mistakes already. Purple belt self, I would tell my purple belt self, man, white belt is easy. Purple belt's a little bit harder. I don't know, honestly. I don't have a, what would I tell my purple belt self? I pretty much knew it all at purple belt, right? So, like, what are you going to tell me?
Yeah.
I got this shit figured out, bro. I'm like advanced now.
Right.
Like,
Right. it's done.
it's not done, but I just don't have any wisdom if I could look back.
Yeah.
White belt and blue belt, still
Maybe
very early.
compete more, or
I was competing 4 times a year. I don't know how much could I compete more, right? Like all the way up to my purple belt, I was very active. And then I got out of the coffee business and started working construction again. And it was very hard for me to get in the gym and train enough to compete. I was fucking tired, man. Like my job is hard.
Right.
It's not fun to go pour 30 grand, fucking bent over all day, pulling concrete and
then bust your ass at the gym.
then go to the fucking gym, dude. Like, man, that's why I like to patch, man. I'm working in Lake Stevens. I'm patching. It's still concrete, but it's not the same, dude.
Not as labor
right? It's
intense
not labor at all. Like, it's more finesse, and everything's already hard, and I don't have to. I'm not running to chase the fucking concrete. It's getting hard on me, right? You know.
Hey.
I'm not bent over all day. I'm upright. I'm standing up and
Bill and I are children. We were laughing at the fact that you're talking about running to get it hard and stuff. So
Set it up. We'll knock it out of the park.
knock it out. I'm a finisher. That's what I do. I finish.
I like it.
I always knew you were my favorite black belt. Mm-hmm. Are you still learning as a black belt?
Fuck yeah. I think, speaking of Andrew, he said more than once that he learned more after his black belt than he ever did getting his black belt.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah, well, I think the black belt just signifies that you have a fundamental understanding of jiu-jitsu. And now really small details are going to help your game in a way that they wouldn't help even a blue belt or purple belt, right? Like you're still gathering all of these tools. And
I think the analogy that worked well for me was thinking about it like graduating medical school.
Sure.
It's like, okay, you have some fundamental knowledge.
Yeah.
But
now put it to use and use it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've learned the same thing. You learned a lot more after that. So I think it's kind of the same thing.
Definitely. 10 fucking years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're on course to get your black belt a lot sooner than I did. And most people.
Right.
Not if he keeps insulting Andrew on.
But I think he just promoted you with all of the insults. So I think maybe if you insulted him more, maybe you might get promoted sooner.
Maybe that's the key.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe that's the key.
I don't know.
But at the same time, that's all mat time.
It is, though. And that's the whole thing. If you're rolling with Andrew regularly and you're kicking his ass, he's going to fucking promote you.
Well, it's
but
not,
I mean,
with him, so if you look at the years he's been in, but if you look at the actual time on the mats, his time on the mat is equal to someone.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, you have been put. It's like, look, BJ Penn got his black belt in 3.5 years.
And that guy was living on the mat.
He was living on the mats. And submitting fucking black belts have been training twice as long as him, right? So he earned his black belt in a very short period of time, but lived on the mats the whole time.
Yeah.
Like full time, 8 hours a day,
and
10 hours a day.
Natural gifts, of course. That
crazy flexibility. Yeah, the prodigy, right? He earned that name for a good reason.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, all those guys that got their stuff extremely fast, it was like that.
Well,
but anybody could go buy a black belt, right? But earning it and having everybody recognize it is a different thing, you know?
Totally.
What would you think about someone, first of all, let me go, before I ask this question, what do you think jiu-jitsu has done for you the most for your life? You had a couple things.
A lot, dude, so much. I'm a very hyper guy.
You are not.
It really helps. I don't want to say calm me down because I'm not very calm, but gives you an outlet, right? We have a lot of work and mental stress, and you can't take any of that baggage into the gym with you. And if you do, you're just gonna get your ass kicked, and you're gonna regret it. So you have to be able to turn it off like a light switch and just focus on training. And when you have that sort of outlet, it translates into positive things in your everyday life because I can turn off all my stuff that I'm upset with my wife or the flooding in my basement I can turn it all off, all the bullshit at work. And I'm able to just do what I like to do. So I think that's helped me more than anything is just having an outlet to release all of your frustration, and not in a bad way, like I'm going there aggro, upset with anybody that I'm rolling, but being able to turn everything off like a light switch and focus on training and not worry about anything else. It's definitely taught me patience. Teaching classes for Andrew as a blue belt and a purple belt. Not everybody. I actually got a little bit frustrated trying to teach Shannon, which I never experienced teaching any classes before. I never got frustrated with them, but I did find myself getting frustrated with Shannon. I don't know why. Professor Mark said he felt the same way, and that's why he diverted to Andrea with Heather.
It's hard with family members, though, isn't it?
Apparently, this is my only example that I have. I don't have anybody else in my life that trained, right? So I brought Shannon in for a few classes, and we were working together, and I did find myself getting frustrated that she wasn't getting it. Like, What am I doing wrong? Yeah. Like, I never felt frustrated teaching anybody else.
Right.
Like, if they weren't getting it, I would just change the way I was saying it.
Was she frustrated with you?
I don't think so, but she's not here, so I don't. Maybe she could answer that better than I could. I didn't feel her frustrated with me. Yeah. I felt like maybe she was upset because I was getting upset.
Right. Yeah. It's common. I mean, Olivia and I, we have our bugaboos with I can teach a class.
Yeah.
She can learn from whoever.
Yeah.
But if I'm showing her something, she will be like, that's not it.
Well, especially now. She's purple belt. She knows it all, right?
That's true. He said it.
Hey. I'm advanced. Mind your P's and Q's. And then she'll correct. And then maybe this happens where you're doing something like you're remembering wrong.
Yeah.
And then you're like a little unsure. And then she'll remember correctly. She'll be like, I think that hand's over here. I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, what are you trying to do? Teach me wrong? What are you doing? You don't even know what you're doing. Hello.
That's why she comes over for instruction to someone that knows what they're doing.
I see it.
But it has gotten better. I don't get as frustrated with you as I used to. When I was a white belt, I was like, I cannot learn from you.
that was true.
You tried to teach me how to drive stick. That was fun.
Yeah. Still don't know how.
I do too.
She could probably do it in an emergency.
That's true. I could.
And that's it.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm good with the stick unless we're on a hill. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll walk.
Put the e-brake on and
it just scares me, dude. Do you know, like, you have to like the gas and there's like going backwards and someone's behind you. Yeah. Not like a little hill. I mean like a steep hill. Yeah. It just fucking scares
Seattle.
me.
Right. Seattle's brutal. What's your most memorable role or competition match?
Competition match.
Or just a sparring session?
I mean, Seattle Open 2015 was the best that I did.
Yep.
And I felt great the whole time.
That was the first one. I went to that one. It was great.
I had 3 matches. The first 2 were very easy. Armbar. Mm-hmm. And the finals was a little bit tougher. The guy I was going against was really good. He gassed me in the end. He almost triangle choked me at the end. It's most memorable because it's the only one I ever won out of all the competitions. Yeah. It's the first time that I won. I think I would have won at blue belt when I moved my rib. I felt like I would have killed that guy, dude. I watched his matches. I wasn't impressed. But I couldn't continue. So he won by default. So that probably would have been my first tournament. My first win. I think so. But who knows? We could have got in there and he could have kicked my ass. And
sure.
Who knows?
Well, I got to tell you, man, that competition left an imprint on me because I'd been training like 4 months.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, 2015. That was a while ago, I guess. Jesus.
And I saw all those. I'm like, oh my God! Just watching your art, that was inspiring. So
the first guy was cool. Like, man, you got that grip on my arm. Yep. I couldn't get it back, and I was like,
yeah, I know, because
that's the grip we were talking about in class. The when you grab the seam right above the elbow.
Yeah.
It's a killer grip.
Yeah, not just in the standing, but.
Yeah, this was we were in the guard when I did it, right? Yep. And that's how I set up my arm bar with that grip.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a great competition.
Yeah, thank you. It was. I mean, of course, I felt like it was too because I won. But
so I've noticed like some of the people that you compete against, and
you see a lot of the same people for sure.
Throughout.
For sure.
So now you're a black belt. Like, obviously, you see a lot of people come and go if you stick it out.
Oh, yeah.
But are there people that you remember competing against or seeing at tournaments that were blue belts and stuff? And now,
definitely. Guys that I went against, I was like, man, that guy's tough. It makes a mental impact on you, too. Like, he kicked your ass in the last tournament, and now we're in the same bracket again. You go against the same guys.
2 belts later.
Exactly. Yeah, now we're more advanced. He killed me at blue belt. Now we're competing at purple belt. But, I always felt like everybody I went against more than once, if I didn't beat him, he at least respected me, right? Like it wasn't like, oh, this guy fucking sucks,
right?
You know? Right.
Yeah, that's kind of cool being able to see other people like get promoted that you don't even necessarily train with them. You don't talk to them.
Agreed. I'm very friendly with a lot of people I competed with. Mark, I couldn't even say what his last name was, but
did you compete against that?
Probably
Lawrence is his name. He's from, I think, Oak Harbor or Hybrid. No, Kyle's competed against him a bunch.
I was going to say, I haven't competed against anybody with my own name. I would remember that for sure.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
It would be
he's
impossible.
Dropped in a few times.
Okay.
He's a brown belt now.
I'm sure. Yeah, there was several guys that I competed against multiple times that just had my number.
Yeah.
Mark Guy was one of them. Super tall guy. Killer game, dude.
But you still see him around in the community.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Actually, I think he used to date Andrea.
Okay.
I remember she told me, fuck that guy. And I was like, oh, I kind of like him. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have the same experience you do. I don't know him. But he was nice to me. And he was training in Yakima. And I would go visit my brother. And I would drop in and train with him. He fucking just murdered me, dude.
It shows where your loyalties are.
My loyalties?
Yeah.
It's not loyalty. What? Fuck you. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I love Andrea. I'm sorry that I had a connection with your ex. That's not, it has nothing to do with, nothing to do with her.
Shout out to Professor Andrea and Brian for getting married.
Today? When are they getting married? Are they married?
I don't.
Officially married?
No, not yet.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Spoiler alert.
I did know they were engaged.
On their upcoming nuptials.
Yeah. Upcoming nuptials.
That sounds very technical.
And she actually pretty much demanded that you would be on this podcast, too.
I love that.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite people.
And you just brought up her old
we're talking about people that you compete against, and that's how I know Mark. I didn't know Mark through Andrea. I knew Mark through competition, and he kicked my ass several times. Lawrence, he's fucking really good.
This started really nicely, and then, man, you just dug a hole for yourself.
You get a couple beers in you.
I'm just being honest. This is brutal honesty. It's not.
The guy's really nice.
He's been nice to me. I don't know that he was nice to her. Although,
do you remember when I started this podcast? I said this is one of my favorite people. This is actually why. You know exactly where you stand.
Yeah,
and it's great.
That's true. How would you address someone with a stinky gi?
I would be very honest with them and tell them, you need to wash that thing, and you stink. I'm not rolling with you.
What do you mean I stink?
If you have a stinky gi,
you're going to hear about it.
You're going to hear about it, dude. We're not training. Basically, you can get a new gi, or you can.
The round's about to start.
I'm not training with you.
Why?
Because you stink. And I don't want staph infection or ringworm because you were too stubborn to wash your gi.
I washed it.
And it stinks? Mm-hmm. Did you wash it with soap? I mean, I don't know. It stinks. You didn't wash it good enough. And it stinks. So,
or you need to replace it.
Yeah, I probably have one or two of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you say, though, like, it smells fine. And then you start fucking rolling, and then, man, it doesn't smell good anymore.
Same with rash guards. Sometimes that happens with a rash guard for me.
I haven't, maybe it's the rash guard and not the gi. I don't know. I have every rash guard I ever bought.
Dang.
They don't
have you ever
tear or, I mean, I don't wear them all because now I do the superhero thing, but.
Have you ever had a rash guard start stinking?
Oh,
I don't think
I've retired a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I
need to.
I'll just do the sniff test when I get home.
Well, I just know there's a time where we thought my gi was stinky,
and it was the rash guard.
It was like it's not.
Dude, I had like my Spider-Man rash guard for like 8 years. Maybe I don't think it stinks. I would know, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like I would definitely know.
I feel like you would know. Mm-hmm. Like you would call
I'm
yourself
the closest.
out.
I'm the closest one to it.
You would tell yourself. You'd be like, "You piece of shit. You need to take that off.
You are stinky, Lawrence. Right? You shower yourself as you're in the mirror. You scrub.
Yeah, dude. Wash your gi. Not cool, man.
Yeah,
not cool. I don't care if you showed up to technique and you didn't spar. If you wore that motherfucker, you need to wash it.
So Even if you didn't really get a sweat in, you just...
Yes. No, I don't care if you sweat at all.
That goes back to our previous podcast.
Yeah, I agree. It needs to be washed every time you wear it.
Yep.
Every time.
I like it.
Your belt, too.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a good policy.
Yeah.
It's gross. It's like cutting your nails and bathing. Brush your fucking teeth, dude. Nobody wants to be in your space if you don't have basic hygiene.
Yeah. That can be kind of brutal for sure. That's all of our questions, at least on my side. Do you got any?
No, those are good ones. Do you any kind of parting wisdom or anything you want to? Anything, man. Yeah. Anything you want to just shout out to people?
Buy some Bitcoin.
Let's talk about it for a second.
Yes, let's do. Look, if we take 10 minutes and talk about Bitcoin, I think if we can help one person understand Bitcoin a little bit better.
So currently, Bitcoin is at $20,000.
Yeah, I bought yesterday at $18,900. $200, a whole $200. I don't have a lot of money to put into it.
7.8%. It's up in the last day.
I'm not worried about up. I wish it would keep going down because I know in the long run, it's gonna. The network is stronger than ever, right? The network is expanding and people are adopting it. All assets across the board are down. So yeah, Bitcoin is down quite a bit. I started buying Bitcoin at 18,000. So when I seen it down at 18,900, I'm like, holy shit, this is the first time in 2 years that Bitcoin is down to this point. So
he got me buying it. I've been buying it since January, weekly.
Good for you, dude. Good. This is the best thing that anybody can do. And I think it's important to know the difference between Bitcoin and all of the other cryptocurrencies, right?
Preach. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So Bitcoin is proof of work, and all of the other cryptos are proof of stake. Even like Ethereum, which is the second biggest, and I do own some Ethereum. They're transitioning to proof of stake because it's more centralized.
What does that mean, though?
Proof of work, think about like digging for gold. It takes work. It takes money. It takes a lot of equipment and time. It's work. It's not easy. It costs a lot of energy. It costs a lot of energy to dig the gold out of the ground and refine it. Bitcoin takes energy. It's not physical energy, but it's computational energy, right? All the computer stuff we have over there. Bitcoin works.
Electricity,
right? It's the proof of work. It's the computational mathematical equation that is every transaction, every 10 minutes, the blockchain is it's verifying it every 10 minutes to make sure everything is in order. So it costs a lot of money to verify the Bitcoin network. So that's the proof of work. And the proof of stake is centralized, like what we have with the central banks. So they have control. They can increase or decrease the supply as they choose. And Bitcoin is finite, and there's only ever going to be 21 million. So that's what separates them, is proof of work versus proof of stake. One is very hard, and one is very easy. One is distributed amongst millions of computers, and one is in one place. So one is centralized, and one is decentralized.
What about the fear that someone's going to have about they buy their Bitcoin through one of these exchanges, they call them, whether it's, you have popular ones like a Coinbase.
Yeah, I use Coinbase.
Or Celsius. The one that
Celsius I love Celsius. I love their business model.
But
that's the best. I don't even think I think they operate like a bank, but a Bitcoin bank.
Right.
What they do is much different than any other bank. What they do is very cool.
You have these businesses or exchanges that you can purchase your Bitcoin through.
Of course.
You don't have to use those.
You don't.
But
you can buy a Bitcoin mining rig if you want to spend 10 grand on a mining rig and then $1,000 a month on energy, right? So that's the whole thing. So what is cheaper?
But
it's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy the Bitcoin than it is to mine the Bitcoin.
Because you'll get some fees or whatever that an exchange is going to have. And then there's even off exchange where you don't have to buy it through Coinbase, right?
No, I use multiple places. Coinbase is the easiest thing.
Right.
It's the most user friendly. I like Swan Bitcoin. They set up. It's cheaper.
But people get a little freaked out because they see an exchange go down.
Sure.
Or Robinhood, a year or whatever it was ago, locked certain coins.
Yeah, this is an excellent point. And this is why you need to pull your Bitcoins off the exchange, wherever you buy them. Doesn't matter where you buy them. If you leave them on the exchange, the government can call the exchange and halt your account just like they could your bank account, right? So the benefit to Bitcoin is that I can pull them off the exchange and own them on my hard wallet.
Which is?
A cold wallet is just, it's like storing your gold under your mattress or in a safe, right? You don't have them where it's easily taken from you.
But what is it at, like physically?
It's a little piece of, like mine.
It's like a thumb drive. Yeah. I have a cold card. There's many options. A ledger is cool. The ledger does multiple cryptos. I like cold card for my Bitcoin because you can use it offline. You don't need to plug it into the internet, so no one can hack your shit. Right? You can use a SDM card and then transfer it onto your, so it doesn't get directly plugged into the internet. So it's harder to hack.
And that's the way that you're going to
secure your money.
Yes.
Right?
You don't have to be fearful if Celsius goes down, Luna, whatever, these things that you see in the news, if they happen to
pull that shit off the exchange. Don't leave it on the exchange unless you want to sell it. Like, look, depend how much are we talking about? If you have just a few $1,000s, it's probably fine to leave it on the exchange, especially if you're looking to sell it. If it's on your cold card, you have to download it to sell it. So it's a extra step.
So my personal strategy is hold.
Mine as well.
Long term. I don't even think about selling.
Me neither. I'll never sell my Bitcoins, ever.
But for someone that wants to do, like you said, they maybe are interested in selling at certain peaks or whatever, which isn't recommended.
I wouldn't recommend selling at all. Buy and hold like a savings account, right? Yeah. So it's about buying something that's going to increase, right? So
increase in value.
If you're going to put your money in the savings account, it's going to slowly get devalued, right? Bitcoin is the only thing going up by 128% per year for a decade. There's no other asset class that has done that.
Right.
None. S&P 500 is at like 28% or 38%, and it's still good. But in comparison to Bitcoin for the last decade, it smashes it.
Right.
And it's safer. Your fucking stocks can be diluted by the CEO by issuing more stocks. The same way that the government issues more money and dilutes your cash.
Right. So would you say with the Bitcoin piece, like why, once again, what's the main reason that you go Bitcoin and not XRP or one of these other?
Because it's the only one that's completely decentralized. And there's the only one that doesn't have a CEO that can issue more coins, right? It's the only one that doesn't have an owner. It's the only one that is, what do you call it when it's open to the public? Open source, right? So anybody can use Bitcoin to do whatever the fuck they want. And there's nobody that can sue you. You can fucking copy the Bitcoin network and call it fucking Billcoin. And nobody can come after you because it isn't owned by anybody.
So explain that, because that's kind of the most common use right now. Is
they use it in a negative way, and I don't like it because it's like, who's the inventor of Bitcoin? Who the fuck cares? Who's the inventor of the wheel? Nope. Even if you know, it doesn't matter who invented the wheel. It's useful, and we're going to use it, right? So it doesn't really matter who invented it.
James Naismith invented basketball. Canadian.
Interesting.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because we're going to do it because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
So what matters is that it's useful. People are going to use it. Doesn't really matter
What do you think it gets used for in the future?
Our monetary system.
I
think it's going to replace our monetary base. So what we have right now is called the euro dollar, which replaced the gold standard, basically, right? Euro dollar is what they use outside of the U.S. It's basically the reserve currency outside of the United States. So whether it's euro yen or euro whatever the fuck, it's basically replaced the gold standard. It's just a credit ledger, like Bitcoin.
Right. So what if
but they're in control of it, right? And so no one is in control of the Bitcoin ledger. Everybody can download it. Everybody can participate, and nobody can stop you from participating. I just have to download the protocol, and I get to participate. And then I can choose to not participate.
But so you think it will be used as an actual currency?
No. I think it will be used like gold was used for money. Things were backed by gold. We did not use gold.
Right.
We didn't really use gold to transact.
Right.
Because gold is heavy. It's hard to move. Paper's lighter and faster.
You can use it in your cell phone, but
it was backed.
We can't use anything.
No, but we'll use Bitcoin as backing like we use gold. The Bitcoin standard. Instead of the gold standard, it'll be the Bitcoin standard.
What about transaction speeds?
I think speeds are kind of irrelevant. What are we talking about? It depends on what we're talking about. Like, are we talking about moving $1 billion across the world? Or are we talking about a cup of coffee? Right? A cup of coffee, we need speed. If we're talking about $1 billion, 10 minutes to move it across the world that's not a lot, right? $2 to move $1 billion or $2 to buy a cup of coffee. Transaction is going to be the same cost because of the internet.
Yeah.
So $2 transaction to buy a $5 cup of coffee is expensive, but $2 to move $1 billion is nothing. If you try to move $1 billion of gold, it would cost you $300,000. Right. So it depends on what we're talking about. So again, Bitcoin will be the base layer, just like what we have with the euro dollar or the gold standard. It's the base layer. It's the layer 2, which would be PayPal or whatever the fuck, right?
Cash App.
And the layer 3s, and they're going to, so Bitcoin is just going to be the first layer, and then everything's going to be built on top of that.
Okay. You got any questions?
No, that was great.
Bitcoin?
No, because he got me kind of,
So
I'm down.
Shout out to Saifedean Atmos, who wrote the Bitcoin Standard. This is a great resource. I highly recommend this book to anybody who's interested about Bitcoin. He also has a podcast called the Bitcoin Standard Podcast. Also good.
Any other sources that you like to?
Michael Saylor's one of my favorite guys to follow on YouTube. He does he doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he does a ton of interviews.
Yeah.
This guy's a genius,
dude. Lex Friedman is very
Lex
good.
Friedman bores me. I'm sorry. He has a lot of fucking cool guys on his podcast, but he's so monotone. He's fucking boring. I cannot stand the guy.
But it's a good conversation.
It is. He does have good questions, but his tone kills me, bro. I can't listen to him for 4 hours or even 1 hour.
Yeah.
But I like the people he has on his show, and he's a jiu-jitsu guy too, and that's cool. Right. Don't be so fucking boring, bro. Like, have some excitement, dude. I mean, I don't know. I'm not judging
It's just
him.
that Eastern
I don't know
European
him. It could be. Michael Saylor, Lex Freeman's a good resource. Raul Paul, it's great. Anthony Palmello, The Best Business Show.
Pompliano.
Whatever the fuck it is. Excellent, dude. Yeah. Best Business Show. Holy shit. Michael Saylor accredited him to a lot of his learning of Bitcoin.
He's a good follow on Twitter, too.
Absolutely. Twitter, Michael Saylor, all of those guys I mentioned are all on Twitter. Yes.
Do you do Breed Love?
Yes. Breed Love, again, is a little monotone. I love his whole Saylor series was excellent. I'll watch anything with Michael Saylor. That guy's a fucking G.
His voice is weird, right?
A little, but he's so smart, dude. I just like how he breaks down a complex thing and just simplifies it so well. Right. I have to pee like a racehorse.
I think that's a good way to end this.
We could wrap it up.
No, Lawrence, you have to stay. We got to put a catheter in.
I just drank 3 beers, and I'm like, holy crap, I got to
shut up, Bill.
Stop asking questions.
Sorry.
No, this has been super fun.
Dude, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me. Seriously.
The inaugural. Yes, we had Andrew on, but he wasn't part of the Black Belt series.
He will.
So this is our inaugural.
We're going to definitely have him back on just for that.
But yeah.
Dude. Oh, my God, dude.
Okay.
All right.
That's it. Comment, subscribe, talk to us.
Yes,
we want to get the algorithm booming.
Booming.
Blow us up, Liv.
Nice.